Imagine this. You open your feed and for once, the noise fades. No ads, no trending drama, no empty promises, just one message, brighter than everything else. Elon Musk wants to speak to you directly. Open this before he changes his mind. Let that ring in your mind for a second. Okay, now breathe in, because this isn't a recycled headline, it's not marketing hype, it's not some AI voice wasting your precious time. This is the one moment where fate and decision collide, and suddenly, your name moves from the crowd, into the room. And Elon Musk, the one and only, is waiting before the door closes. You can leave. You can swipe past. But then you'll never know what he wanted to say, and you'll never get this chance again. That's how rare this is. One person, one shot, one invitation. Not tomorrow, not when it's convenient. Now. Don't lose yourself in the what-ifs or the noise outside. Musk isn't looking for followers. He's not collecting fans. He's looking for the one mind tuned to the right frequency, the person brave enough to stop, listen, and truly receive more than a headline, more than an alert, more than an ordinary day. Someone who can feel the shift in the room when destiny steps in and says, It's your turn. The seconds are ticking, and the next move is yours. Pause, just absorb the sensation of that possibility. Elon Musk. The architect of electric dreams, the man bowing gravity on Mars, the one who builds futures while most people are still just wishing. When he wants to speak, you don't interrupt. You don't talk over him. You stop what you're doing and you listen, even if you don't fully know why your name made the list. This is not just another faceless message. Look around. Maybe you're alone at home. Maybe you're half listening at work. But somewhere in the digital crowd, right now, Musk is waiting for a single sign that you're awake enough to catch what he's about to reveal. Not everyone will. Most will let it slip through their fingers like sand. But you, if you're still here, you've already proven you see more, and you know how to spot the moment that splits all the days before from everything that happens after. Let it really sink in. Most hear Musk's name and think, impossible. You, though, you understand something the masses never will. Impossible is just a dare, and ordinary is just a starting line. You don't tune into fate by accident. If you found this message, it's because all your days and nights and hopes have quietly pointed you right here. That means something. That means everything. And right now, with every heartbeat you choose to stay, you gain something that money and luck can't touch. It's presence. It's raw attention. It's the kind of energy only the rarest people still remember how to hold. And that's what Elon's looking for, not hype, not gold, not credentials or degrees. Presence. That's what opens the cosmic doors, the ones nobody else even realizes are there. Can you feel that subtle tension in your chest? That whisper of, what if this is real? That's not hype. That's intuition. That's the ancient clock in your soul going off, saying pay attention, something is breaking open. And right now, you are invited to hear the message that will never be posted on Twitter, never dropped in the news, never blasted from a stage. You should know, Musk never wastes time, and he never repeats himself. If you blink or disconnect, the window closes. Just like in high-stakes meetings, there are moments when silence isn't empty, it's packed with opportunity. That's this. Right now. Musk's digital eyes on you, the feed pausing for a heartbeat, and your next breath controlling the outcome. Ready? Good, because we're not here for surface-level secrets. You want more, and Musk knows it. He's about to speak truths reserved for the inventors, the night owls, the relentless. For the ones who see the world not as it is, but as it could be if just one person risked showing up when fate called. That's you, right now, in this pause. But here's what nobody tells you, the hardest part isn't whether Musk will speak, he's ready. The hardest part is whether you can silence the noise long enough to hear what's for you, and only you. Only the rarest stay nerved up for the whole thing. The rest? They blink. They go back to the noise, forever replaying the what if. But not you. I know it because you're still leaning in. Let's peel back the next layer. What might Musk want? Insight? Partnership? To hand out a challenge no one else dares solve? If he's reaching out, there's a reason, and you must be the person the moment needs. It could be because you held on to hope when others let go. Or maybe because you kept asking bigger questions, even when everyone else played it safe. That's what visionaries search for, in themselves, and in the few they let inside their space. This really is a rare intersection, Musk's focus, your willingness, a sliver of cosmic timing. Watch what happens when intentional people collide. Watch what happens when you choose not to scroll, not to sleep, not to be distracted in the one moment that was truly made for you. Feel the urge to smile, to doubt, to double-check. That's good. That means you're alive. So, don't just listen for Musk's words. Listen for that shift, inside yourself, and pay attention to what moves. Some doors you see only once. Some names are said only in whispers, on nights like this one. The world is still sleeping. But you're here. Elon Musk is about to speak to you. Don't blink. Don't rush it. Don't wish you'd listen more closely. This is the only time the message comes through, unfiltered, undiluted, with your name illuminated on the inside. Lean in, the message begins. Do you feel that, right now? The way the energy in the room shifts, like the air is holding its breath? Musk's message is about to land, maybe just a phrase at first, a ripple, but if you listen close it'll sound like thunder rolling under your skin. It's that sensation when destiny isn't something you just read about, but something you feel pulling at the edges of your world. Stay here, let nothing distract you. Because Musk is not here for the crowd, not here for the casual. He's here for the one. For you. He starts not with applause, not with ceremony. It's a simple greeting, and somehow, it's exactly what you needed to hear tonight. I've been looking for someone who doesn't flinch. Not someone who always wins, not someone who never doubts, but someone who keeps showing up when reasons to quit pile up like bricks. That's the real test, isn't it? The world can celebrate the loud and fast, but Musk knows progress is built by the quiet persistent, those who endure. Pause, reflect on every moment you wanted to walk away from a dream, but something kept you holding on. That's what he sees. Not your image, not your highlight reel. He pays attention to what others miss, your second wind, the grace in your resilience, the questions you ask when it feels like nobody's listening. Musk's voice is calm, but his eyes are searching, always searching for that, and tonight, he's found it in you. He leans forward, closer. Every breakthrough the world ever celebrated seemed insane to most, at first. They laughed at rockets. They mocked the electric car. They doubted reusable spaceships. But the few who saw what I saw, they didn't need proof. They needed possibility. He lets that sink in. Right there, you realize he's not just selling you a company or a mission. He's gifting you a lens, a way to see beyond critics and clichés, beyond limits. He's giving you permission to imagine again. A pause, let it fill the room. This is not about getting a job, or getting rich. This is about a handoff of vision. Elon Musk is handing off the next question, the next possibility, the next wild idea that keeps you up at night, and he's asking if you'll dare to hold it with him. Can you? Will you? He asks you, what is it only you can see? What's the idea that keeps poking at your ribs, whispering in your ear every time the house is quiet? This is your time, the time not to shrink, but to risk typing the big answer in your mind. Musk doesn't want perfection. He wants real. He wants the risks, the rough drafts, the blueprints with coffee stains, the dreams that make no sense to anybody except you. And, maybe, to him. Suddenly, the room feels less like a digital space and more like a long-lost friend's living room at 2 a.m., raw, honest, free of judgment. Musk smiles, that sideways grin that means he's already thinking 3 moves ahead. Every empire, he says, started with one person choosing not to ignore a nudge inside. None of us were the obvious picks. We just showed up. Again and again. Are you still here? Of course you are. Because the ones who listen this far, you're cut from the same rebellious cloth. You're not content with second-hand dreams. You want to build your own. He gives you a challenge, straightforward and burning at the core. If there's something in this universe that was meant to be built, but hasn't, why not you? Why shouldn't the next great solution to a human problem bear your name? Another pause. It's not meant to intimidate you. It's an invitation, almost a dare. And right now, you're staring down the moment that divides the almost from the finally. You see, most people float through life waiting for someone to tap them on the shoulder. But destiny is never gentle. Sometimes, it slams doors and sometimes, just like right now, it opens one, quietly, just wide enough for whoever's brave enough to step in. Don't let this flood of possibility paralyze you. Musk wants you real, not rehearsed. He wants to see how your madness, your obsession, could become the poetry the world needs next. And you, right now, you're the only one in the world hearing this. The only one invited into this frequency. He looks you in the eyes and says, this is not an offer for everyone. This is an opportunity that crosses your path once, maybe twice, if you're lucky. What's more important than what happens next is that you show up for it, completely. Pause. Let that responsibility settle on your chest. This is as personal as it gets. No audience. No likes. Just you and the future, toe to toe. Now, you might feel a tremor inside, that's good. That's the tension before the breakthrough, the fear right before you decide to be bold enough to say, I'm ready. Are you? Then remember, don't blink, don't second guess, don't file this away for later. This moment wasn't written for later. Your door will not stay open forever. Elon Musk is waiting, leaning in, and the message is only half complete. What you do next is the hinge on which the rest of your story turns. Stay right here. The next word might be the one that flips everything you thought you knew. Quiet. Just let this moment stretch. Musk hasn't left. He's watching, a test, but not the kind scored with numbers. This is the patience test. The presence test. The will you stay long enough to hear what's for you test. Every tick of the clock is a gate closing behind those who left too fast, and a new window opening just for you. He leans a little closer, eyes narrowing with curiosity, not judgment. The first time I risked it all, he shares, I was alone. Ignored by experts, doubted by teachers, even friends said I was out of my mind. But the one thing I never ignored was the gut feeling that wouldn't let me sleep. His look softens, just a crack. I know you felt it too. That itch, that urge that never fits quiet or polite. The world doesn't need another quiet heart. It needs one more rebel ready to tune out static and tune in to purpose. Pause. Musk's energy shifts from challenge to invitation. It feels like he's handing you a spark, saying, go on. Light your corner of the universe. Because that's the secret, every person who changed the world started looking around thinking, really, why not me? He takes a breath. I'm not offering you safety. I'm not offering comfort. I'm offering a seat at a table where the restless gather and the impossible's a daily special. He grins, almost mischievous. Most people swear they want that, right up until it arrives. He pauses to let those words land. And here you are, still listening. Still showing up. Already, you're passing the test most never see. What does this private conversation mean, for you? It means Musk doesn't need another yes man, or fangirl, or cautious observer. He needs someone willing to say, I don't have all the answers, but I'm here, willing to find them. Maybe you don't have a pitch deck in your pocket. Maybe you don't have $1 billion in your bank. What you have is courage enough to stay when the masses scroll away. That's what's rare. He tells you, quietly, I used to think being chosen would feel like thunder, fireworks and applause. It doesn't. It feels like this. Nervous. Silent. Real. And that's what you're in right now. The real room, the part where, past the invitation, lies the decision only you can make. Consider this, every overnight Musk moment was centuries in the making, every rocket, every code, every launch, every crazy, sleepless sprint. He's not obsessed with what you've done. He wants to know, would you run when it gets hard? Or will you stay when logic says leave, just because something inside you says, not yet, just a few moments more? Elon turns the whole thing around. I want you to imagine, if you could ask me anything, right now, what would it be? Forget what's practical or permitted. What do you truly want to ask or say? If tomorrow I invited you onto SpaceX's factory floor, or handed you blueprints for what's next in artificial intelligence, would you trust your voice? Would you claim your seat, or stare from the edge, wishing you had? He doesn't blink, so don't you. Breathe into the gravity of this invitation. This is the temperature check. Are you a watcher, or are you a builder? Are you just inspired, or ready to be responsible for inspiration at world-class scale? There's a difference, and Musk is pushing for you to cross it. A beat passes. He says, once, when I first pitched reusable rockets, the crowd just laughed. No one comes to the future without passing through ridicule. So, what's the idea you're willing to defend, even if all the world calls you mad at first? This is where the mask drops. No acting. No trying to fit someone else's mold. Just you, an honest heart, a reckless hope, and a billionaire willing to put it all on the table for one real connection. He holds up a metaphorical mirror. What does the world miss if you leave your idea bottled up? What could your voice awaken if you let it loose while everyone else is silent? You might feel your pulse quickening or your mind racing. That's not nerves. That's readiness, coming alive for the first time in a while. Musk's presence isn't meant to scare you or flatter you, it's meant to jolt you into action, to remind you that if you made it this far, you're already on the launch pad. The only question now, will you say yes to the countdown? Let another quiet fill the space. Musk gives you the closing push. It's never about if you fit in with the chosen. It's if you're willing to stay when others leave, to try when others quit, to ask when others wait for answers. You don't need permission to earn your place, you just need guts to claim it. A grin, a pause. Are you in? Are you ready to speak back? Because if you are, then what happens next isn't just my legacy, it's ours. The moment hangs. The air seems thick with possibility, spinning around the center of your chest. Maybe this is the word, the spark, the lightning flash before a new story starts. Don't flinch. Don't blink. Don't shrink. Because yours is the next voice. And it's time. Don't turn away now. The final mile is always the quietest, the most electric. This is where you discover if you're truly meant for this, or if you'll let another day slip into the crowd. Because now, after all the noise and waiting and wondering, it's your turn to answer. Not just with words, but with the pulse in your throat, the stubborn belief that you, out of everyone, belong inside this conversation. Musk waits, unhurried, a still confidence only visionaries have. His message, hanging between you, becomes an ember, glowing for whoever's bold enough to step closer. That's you. It's always been you, if you're honest. You've always felt that subtle tug, the silent hope that maybe you were born for something rare, something less ordinary, less explained. He breaks the silence. If you're still listening, if your attention is this strong, then you're rare. No algorithm can fake that, and no credential can replace it. The future is built by the ones who keep showing up, even when doubt knocks loudest. He pauses again, letting every word settle. What most never realize is, the longer you stay at the table, the more the conversation belongs to you. Some call it persistence. I call it gravity. It's the force that changes planets, dreams, and lives. Let those words roll through you. Not because you need permission, but because with every second you hold this focus, you are unlocking the inevitable, new courage, new path, new self. Now listen, because Musk is ready to trust you with what comes next. Here's what I want from you, he says, not as an order, but as a challenge. Promise yourself this: next time your pulse quickens with an idea, don't file it away. Speak it. Ask. Build. Because the door doesn't open for bystanders. It opens for participants. He hands you the metaphorical blueprint, the design for how to move forward, even after this message ends. Start with a question. Then find one person who'll take it seriously. Don't be afraid to look naive, or unfinished, or unconventional. Every big leap in history started out as someone's wild guess, someone's late-night obsession. He leans in, that spark in his eyes. If you're willing to be honest and relentless, even in small ways, don't be surprised when you end up in the rooms others only dream about. And then, with a rare warmth, he offers the most important secret of all: don't wait for the world to believe in you. The world catches up at the end. The ones who matter, the real catalysts, are those who believe first, who step when their knees shake, who finish when others forget why they started. You're here. You made it through. You held on. The screen shimmers, light reflecting in waves, a signal, maybe, that you've reached the inner vault of the message. It's as if the whole universe is pausing, eager to see if you'll finally step forward. Remember, there's no one left to beat. The only story left is yours. Musk's test wasn't about applause, or likes, or being first. It was simple: will you stay? Will you listen? Will you act, when your moment to speak finally arrives? Because here's the real ending, you are now the one carrying the invitation. The one with the quiet power, a kind of magnetic pull that unlocks the private doors of visionaries everywhere, not just Musk. You've trained for this by outlasting impatience, outlistening the chatter, and outdreaming the doubters. In a world addicted to shortcuts, you chose the long path. In a culture hooked on noise, you leaned into silence. In a universe waiting for permission, you just opened a door that only responds to the bold. This is not where you applaud yourself and disappear. This is where you build. Where you send the message, real, messy, human, to the next person who needs a sign. Pass it on. That's how the conversation outlives the single voice and becomes a symphony of futures. Musk's final words linger, alive in the air. Innovation isn't a solo journey. It's a relay. What I started, you continue. What you imagine, someone else leaps toward. Tonight is not about my legacy. It's about yours. So as this message closes, don't go back to your old place in line. Don't shrink into comfortable corners and familiar echoes. Stand up. Gather your courage. Write down your idea, the half-born vision, the wild hunch, the question no one else lets live out loud. Send that email. Start that call. Launch that project. Forget the outcome, focus on the action. That's where real confidence grows. If you made it here, you are, by definition, relentless. Rare. Ready. Musk has given you his attention, now, give your own future the same respect. Let this be your confirmation, your cosmic nudge, your proof, you weren't meant to just watch. You weren't meant to only cheer from the shadows. You were meant to build a door, open it, and walk right through, again and again. So take a breath. Feel the weight and the gift of this final pause. You have everything you need to begin, not someday, but now. Elon Musk wanted to speak to you. You stayed. You received. You are now invited. What happens next is only up to you.